Good morning and welcome to another edition of Slice of Light to renew and to brighten your Sunday morning.
Coming up in today's show, a new recycling project which is uplifting an entire community and rejuvenating the environment at the same time.
In Daily Slice, we meet with celebrated and esteemed makeup artist Estelle Cunningham.
Finally, Hidden Gems is introducing us to the coolest organist in South Africa. Sound interesting?
Mm-hmm.
Stick around to find out more.
Megan?
Yes?
National flower of South Africa?
Protea.
No, the other one.
Oh, you mean the plastic packet?
Aha, that one.
Very prolific, comes in so many different colors.
And it'll even survive the drought. Kodwa ke xa sesisinyani baninzi abantu abahleli nje banengxaki yenkunkuma yeplastic. Bekwaninzi abantu abaphelela ithemba. Ingaba mhlawumbi ingakhona indlela yokuthi sisombululo zosibini ezingxaki ngaxesha linye. Umhlawumbi ke ingakhona.
Alfonso and Audrey Vessels are mission pastors. After spending years in Kenya, they've brought their mission field back home to a neglected suburb of Port Elizabeth. Kleinskool is one of PE's poorest communities. There is no running water, sanitation or refuse removal, and only limited electricity.
Alfonso and Audrey, thank you so much for joining us on Slice of Light. Kan jy nou asseblief vir ons vertel oor die area Kleinskool?
Kleinskool is 'n noordelike voorstad amper van Port Elizabeth. It's 'n groot area, amper 400,000 mense wat daar bly en maar baie agtergeblewe area.
En as gevolg van die effek mense het 'n baie lae selfesteem en hulle het in siklusse vasgeval geraak soos gangsterisme onder andere om soort van net 'n plek te kry waar hulle voel dat hulle van waarde kan wees. En onder andere is daar ook baie misbruik van alkohol en dwelms in die area en ook definitief as gevolg van dit is daar groot mate van werkloosheid in die area.
In Desember het ons 'n voorval gehad waar iemand ongelukkig voor ons hekke doodgebloei het en dit was 'n Saterdag aand, vroeg Sondagoggend en ons moes sawdust kry om oor die bloed te sit sodat die mense wat kerk toe kom net nie hierdie voorval kon sien nie. Gelukkig was die polisie vroeg op die toneel. En dit het voor ons kerk gebeur.
And then there's a swap shop. Hoe werk dit nou?
Yeah, with the swap shop, we've heard about the swap shop from a friend of ours, and we decided this is actually a lovely process because you're not only dealing there with restoring people's physical needs, but in the process of the swap shop, you're also helping to restore dignity of people. So we've decided to go and visit another swap shop in Jeffreys Bay, an amazing swap shop. We've learned so much just by visiting them and seeing what they've done there. And then we went to Kleinskool and we started the process of implementing a swap shop there.
In short, it's basically a community gathering recyclable items and then bring it to the swap shop where they trade it for goods. So they've got the whole week to gather certain items that we recycle. And when they come to the swap shop, that gets weighed. Different items have different points. So for every kilo they gather, they get points allocated to their card or to their name. And with those points, they can then walk into the swap shop where they can then choose for themselves essential food, essential clothes items, basic sanitary products. And for the children, there's obviously sometimes we've got toys available, but definitely also school items that they need for school, basic pens and pencils, books that they can choose for themselves. Because they can choose for themselves and they've worked for those points, dignity is being restored. They're very proud of the points they gather. And we also encourage them to save the points. It gets locked onto their card, onto their and on the computer, so that they can save for bigger items. Sometimes we get bigger items into the swap shop, and we encourage them to save points, maybe 2-3 weeks, and then buy a bigger product. En so het is 'n man gehad, hy het al oor die 300 punte gespaar. En dit het hy gedoen, hy het aanhou spaar, want ons het 'n 2 dae seker raadsdeur gehad, wat hy baie waarde gesien het in. wat hy kan gebruik vir sy huis of sy pandok wat hy opslaan. En hy het gespaar totdat hy daai karaatsteer gekry het. En hy's baie trots daar uitgestap met hierdie karaatsteer na sy huis toe.
People basically take responsibility for their own lives. And it was a beautiful story of the children that decided they want a bicycle. So they decided, let's recycle material together. And then they recycled material, and after some months they were able as a group of kids to buy this bicycle. And then they said, okay, let's work together that you can also get a bicycle. So it kind of creates that the community stands together and they help each other to buy items. So it's a lot of creativity, a lot of entrepreneurship. So it's more than just a shop. It creates really more than just, the means of getting what they want in the community.
People restoring their own lives and cleaning their environment at the same time. What sort of volumes are we talking?
Ons kry per week word nou 1.2 na 1.4 ton recycled material by ons ingegee op elke Dinsdag. En dit is oor die 5 ton per maand wat uit daai gemeenskap uitkom by die swap shop. So dis 'n merkwaardige hoop plastiek as jy daarna kyk.
And finally, wat is julle drome vir Kleinskool?
Sjoe, dis 'n groot vraag en ek dink ons het groot drome vir Kleinskool, maar om dit op te som is werklik dat hulle siening van hulle self en van die wêreld op die oomblik dat dit verander sal word met 'n Bybelse perspektief, dat hulle self sal sien soos wat God hulle sien en hulle mense sal sien soos wat God hulle sien. So ek dink om dit op te sien sal ek wil graag hê hulle wêreldsiening heiliglik moet verander word deur 'n Bybelse siening.
5 tons of recycling in 1 month.
It's a lot. Trust me.
After the break, I chat to a makeup artist to the stars, and she's also a woman of great faith.
Hulle sê hardkappers spandeer die meeste van hulle tyd listening to their clients' problems. That psychology should be a part of their diploma. I wonder if the same applies to makeup artists as well. So, Omega nu wondering like a makeup artist jotumo kupondo lempuma koloni. Is het uitgevind dat dit eintlik met sielkunde begin?
Estelle spoke to Megan about her unusual job and her journey with God.
Estelle, you've been playing with makeup since you were 12 years old.
My love affair with makeup did indeed start when I was 12, when I thought that God had made a mistake when he made me, and I was fat and ugly, and I had to colour myself in to make myself look more respectable. What a lie that the devil feeds us. Ek het met my ma se grimering gespeel, elke keer as sy iewers heen gaan. En ek het R5 sakgeld gekry na weke, en daarmee het ek oorseese tydskrifte gekoop en by die goedkoopste winkel gaan grimering koop in die klere wat ek in die tydskrif gesien het. En dan speel ek op my maatjies, dan bel ek hulle en sê, don't you want to come and play make-up? En ja, kleer ons mekaar in en dit was net lekker. Toe ek 13, 14 was een van my niggies op die plaas getrou en ek het daar ingekleer en toe sê iemand, sal jy my ook inkleer as wanneer ek trou? Dit was 'n stokperdjie van toe af en daar was nie so ding soos 'n make-up artist nie en ons het nog nie eers televisie gehad nie.
How did you transition from doing makeup just as a hobby into doing it full time?
Yesterday I was 18 and oh my goodness, now I'm 40. That means tomorrow, the next time I'm going to be 60, I'm going to be in the old age home. And my hands are going to be trembling and I've never been able to use this wonderful gift God gave me. So I discussed with my husband, who said, okay, I'll give you 1 year, get it out of your system. And ja, 25 jaar later is ek nog nie in die oude thuis nie. Aftree oort. My hande bewe nog nie, prys die Heer. En ek kleer nog al die pad in. Ek is baie geseënd. Dis uit en dis 'n bediening. En hier sit ek soveel jaar later.
Tell us how your faith has impacted your life.
So een Kersdag, toe sien ek my buurman met my seentjie wat buitekant speel en die fiets wat hy vir Kersfees gekry het 'n papwiel en hier's die predikant besig om die papwiel reg te maak. En ek is baie eng groot geword in die huis, baie legalistic. En ek skrik my mors dood, wat doen hierdie man? Dis Kersdag, dis soos 'n Sondag, dis Sondagsontheiliging. En ek hol buitekant en ek sê, what are you doing? You can't be fixing this tire it's a holy day. En hy kyk net na my met hierdie amazing blou oë, waar hy die liefde van die Here gestraal het. En hy sê vir my, how can I show the love of Jesus if I'm not helping my little neighbor whose Christmas present is broken by lunchtime, really? And this just blew my mind. And I thought, shoo, okay, that kind of makes sense. Several years later, the same neighbor came to visit me at the shop and said, you need to make right with God. And I said, what are you talking about? Ek is reg met die Here. En hy het net na my gekyk en gesê, Stella, he's in your head, he's not in your heart. And that was an absolute epiphany. And I cried for 3 days. But it wasn't sad crying. It was like healing, tears of healing. So my neighbor said to me, don't tell your husband that you're born again. Wait for him to see it in your behavior. Because if you tell him, you'll think, oh, Stelly's new hobby for this year, But yeah, so I became much calmer, wasn't slamming doors anymore. The big thing for me was my husband came to me and he said, I don't think you love me anymore. And I was appalled. I mean, that's the last reaction you want when you're now following the Lord. So I said, what do you mean? He said, you don't fight with me anymore. That was like such an epiphany. So then I told him, this is what's happened. And my wonderful husband said, well, it's okay with me if you think it's going to make you a better person. God is great. He's calmed me down. For when I do a bride at a weekend, I pray about it every Saturday morning. Please, Lord, your hands today. And it's just the most amazing blessing to be able to have these young women who are embarking on a marriage, and you've been married for so long and you have so much wisdom you can give them. And actually one of the favorite things I like to share with my brides, so many of us make the mistake that when we get married, we look to our husband to be our all in all. Your husband is just a man. Look to God to be your all in all. And you will release your husband to be a better husband because there's no pressure on him to be everything for you. And wow, that's really true. It's the perfect opportunity when someone's sitting in your chair that you can say, you know what I read in my quiet time this morning? And then you tell them. And my modus operandi has always been to treat everyone as though they were a believer anyway. And no one has ever said, oh, you're talking rubbish or want to get up or run away. In fact, I have found a lot of women ask me to pray with them. And many women, particularly sort of from the 40-plus age group, which seems to be a season when men want to find someone younger. And I have many hairdressers sending women in situations like that to me for a makeover. And I was driving back from Knysna this particular day and thinking, sure, Lord, this is so amazing. I mean, I'm coloring in faces, but at the same time, I'm using all the psychology and all the social work I've ever studied for. People are very quick to say when you color in, because if you're a makeup artist, people think you're a bimbo, but people think it's a very superficial thing. So I had a conversation with the Lord and said, sure, Lord, I'm really loving this work, which doesn't feel like work at all. But if it's not where you want me to be, please close doors for me. Monday morning, 5 to 7, the phone rings, and it's the parent of one of my son's friends from pre-primary school. And the woman said, Estelle, ek dink nie jy sal my nog onthou nie, maar ek is besig met my stilte tyd en ek lees Jesaja 61 en ek sien net die hele tyd jou gesig hier voor my. Gaan lees hom. Miskien is daar 'n vers of 'n boodskap vir jou daar. So, went to the Bible and read, and there Isaiah 61 says, I have anointed you to heal the brokenhearted, to restore the garment of ashes with a crown of beauty. So I thought, sure, this is it. I'm just seeing beauty. Okay, Lord, I'm in, And then it was a time of a lot of women coming to me for really, I would say, restoring dignity, but just getting a new look.
Tell us about your ministry in the prisons.
I just prayed that God would help me not to be condescending and to treat each one of these little girls, these women, as my little girl. And that is truly life-changing. When we go into the prisons, we start by treating it as though it were an art class. And then they colour in one another. So teach them how to do basic makeup skills. But at the same time, I quietly bring the word by when making them look at themselves. While you were yet in your mother's womb, he formed you. You are fearfully and marvelously made. You're an artistic masterpiece. Are you ever going to look at yourself in the mirror again and not realize how amazing you are? So that's basically what I do with them in prison. There's a particular judge who admires what I do, and he has a heart for women in prison as well. And he phoned me and said, do you remember that woman you did the makeover on? And he said she had been actually quite a difficult person. She was very quiet. And this one, she wouldn't do any knitting, any sewing, nothing. She just sat there. She couldn't forgive herself for what she had done. And now she was ready to go out on parole. So, okay, the judge goes to visit 3 weeks later, and this woman is crocheting the other people under the table. So the judge said to her, wow, this is amazing. What happened? And she said, when Estelle was here, she reminded us all that we are fearfully and marvelously made. Isn't that just so wonderful? And if she's even the only person I've touched in prison, it's enough. It's truly, truly rewarding. The biggest lesson for me is there, but for the grace of God go I. Truly. But I'm blessed to be doing that.
Graceful, poised, what a class act.
I can only hope I age half as well as Estelle has.
Coming up, majestic music from an unlikely source.
Fiks? What is one of the words that come to mind when I say the organ?
Oh, I don't know, hymns, singing, big old church building. Hey, yazi khona la makhulu one udlala organ ngolu hloba andazi ba ngingamfaka ntoni ukuze abe nobombi.
So, young funky? No?
For an organist, no.
Well, I've recently met a young maestro who completely breaks the mold on what you think an organist should be. Arnu, that was incredible.
Bye, dankie.
But here you are, a hip guy in your 20s, and you're not the image of an organist that we would expect at all.
Ja, nee, dit is waar. As mense vir my vra wat is my werk of wat is my passie en jy sê orgel speel, dan dit is so 'n bietjie van 'n gemengde gevoel wat jy kry, want die orgel en jong mense is nie noodwendig 'n paartjie wat jy saam sou opsom nie, maar ja, hier is ek. Going against the curb.
En hoe het dit begin?
In die kerk waar ek groot geword het, het ons vir 'n ruk lank nie 'n orgelis gehad nie en ek het klavieronderrig op laerskool al gehad. En toe so stukkie vir stukkie begin speel, maar in laerskool is jy ongelooflik bang vir alles en vir almal. So een gesang gespeel en dan weggehardloop letterlik. En so die res van die diens was sonder orgel geweest, maar ek was soos in graad 4, so dit was baie bietjie om te verwag. In 2010 het ek so 'n bietjie op die internet rondgekrap en op video's afgekom van Diane Bish en hoe sy die orgel benader en speel, en dis glad nie hoe ek ooit blootgestel was aan die orgel nie, en toe ek dit nou sien, toe was dit vir my so 'n aantreklike situasie geweest, die manier en die musiek wat sy gespeel het, dat dit half soos 'n vlam in my weer opgevlam. Toe ek met universiteit begin, toe was musiek die enigste rigting wat ek oorweeg het, aangesien my lewe maar net musiek was. En toe orgel as hoofvak gevat en soveel blessings gehad op my pad van universiteit.
How different is it from playing the piano?
meeste mense, as jy vir mense wat nou nie musiek kennis het, sal vir jou sê as jy kan klavier speel, kan jy orgel speel, wat die gewone kind of general consensus is. Maar wat mense nie besef nie is dat daar soveel meer aan die orgel as wat daar aan die klavier is. 'n paar punte is net 'n klavier speel jy net met jou hande en met 'n orgel het jy 'n klaverbord vir jou voete en is baie meer koördinasie en daar's baie meer goeters wat aangaan. So as jy klavier kan speel, beteken dit nie dat jy die orgel kan speel nie.
Noem vir ons 'n paar ander dinge wat jou interesseer.
Ja, my orgel is meeste van my lewe, maar is ten minste nie alles van my lewe nie. Ek is 'n onderwyser, ek gee musiekonderrig by 'n skool hierso in Port Elizabeth. Dan is ek 'n groot traveler, dis my ontlading, so ek hou van trail running en daai tipe van ding doen en kuier saam met vriende en 'n glasie wyn het nog niemand seer gemaak hier so.
Dink jy die orgel sal nog 5 of 10 jaar van nou nog gespeel word?
Die kultuurbeweging wat op die oomblik in kerke aangaan is al hoe meer weg van tradisionele musiek meer na 'n praise and worship tipe styl van musiek. En dit het groot implikasies vir tradisionele kerkmusiek en orgel. En baie kerke het al hulle orgels begin uitgooi want dit het geen meer doel in die kerk nie omdat die musiekprogram al so verander het. En ek dink as ons die kultuur weer kan terugbring van tradisionele aanbidding met orgel, sal dit die orgelspel vir die toekoms kan verseker. En ek dink is net meeste mense van my generasie het groot geword met orgels wat ongelooflik sleg gespeel was en is 'n ou tannie wat halfblind is en sy sien nie so mooi nie. So dan mis sy so hier en daar 'n noot. So as ons kan half die orgel weer aantreklik maak vir jong mense, dink ek regtig dat dit staan 'n kans want in my ervaring as ek al met mense gepraat het, as jy wil sê jy speel die orgel, het hulle 'n konsep van hoe dit klink van wat hulle gewoond was aan. En as hulle dan my hoor speel, dan is dit heeltemal 'n ander konsep want dan is dit nou ewe skielik hierdie wow groot klank en dit klink heeltemal anders as wat hulle gewoond was. So as ons daai tipe spel weer kan aan jong mense bekendstel, dink ek regtig die toekoms van tradisionele kerkmusiek en orgel sal verseker wees.
Ek stem heeltemal saam, Arnu. If there's one organ in the world you could play, which would it be and why?
Jo, daar's baie om van te kies. As ek sou moes uitsonder, sou dit die orgel in die Mormon Tabernacle kerk wees in Salt Lake City, Temple Square in Amerika. Dis net 'n ongelooflike instrument en as jy 'n kans kry, gaan kyk op die internet. Dit is regtig iets om te beleef en die musiekkultuur in daai kerk is iets wat my vreeslik aantrek. So as ek daar kan kom, life made.
If you'd like to see more of Arnu's virtuoso skills, check out our Facebook page, where you'll find a video of him performing one of Megan's favorite hymns. Oh, what is it? It's called... No, you'll have to go online to find out.
But for now, he plays us out with that triumphant classic, the Battle Hymn of the Republic. Till next time, have a blessed Sunday.
And a magic week ahead.